Well, ladies and gentlemen, we damn sure is like the Avengers. This team just keep rotating and changing. It's me and Larry and Miss K. And we
there
are
it is right
here,
there.
We are in here to entertain you guys on a show that some of y'all sleeping on, but a lot of y'all know about it. And we talking about that heels, baby, the heels.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about heels spelled with the I. I'm talking about heels with two E's, an L, and an S, ladies and gentlemen. It's been pretty good. And before we get started, let me shout out the people. Ron Mitchell, who been told us to watch it. Mally Lee, who's all up on it. ER's grandpa. D-Weave and Tressa C is all in the building.
Yes.
Wow. So we're not going to go back and recant everything that's happened up to episode 4. We're going to stick to episode 4, but a lot of what we're going to talk about kind of covers the full story. And my people, the only thing I can say about this episode is that damn Wild Bill. God told me more. Lord. So just for you guys, I cut a promo. God. Did you see what I did right there? I cut a promo for this particular episode. Take a look at it, give you guys a rundown of what happened.
We need an air marshal.
Out of the house right now!
God damn it. Where's the passion? Where's the anger? You're a heel now.
He's terrified of losing his job.
I don't want him anywhere near me.
Fuck that little punk. He's the reason Tom killed himself.
Let's just take it from the beginning. And Larry, I'll come to you first. Miss K, you sit tight. And make sure you got your air on because it might get hot on this very first subject. Get that air ready, baby. Get that air ready. So, Larry, the episode starts out with Wild Bill, who formerly was the boys' father's tag team partner. Wild Bill. He's a heel, and he embraces being a heel. For those of you that don't understand what a heel is and you're following us just because you love us, a heel is the bad guy in wrestling. And Wild Bill is a damn good heel. The reason he's good is because this guy lives the gimmick inside the ring and outside the ring. So they send him on a flight. He leaves the corporate office because they got a brand new belt. And as you can see behind me, I have several titles. So I know a little bit of what I'm talking about when it comes to this wrestling thing. I got titles in my house now. He is mad as hell that they got a belt that light up. And
it lit up. It looked like it had a mirror in the middle. Boy, that thing, it looked like it came straight out of Toys R Us.
Now, before I give it to Larry, let me give you guys the source material on that belt. So if you want, the beginning of the episode is similar to the same corporate meeting WWE had when John Cena came out with his spinning belt. Some of the old heads was in there like, what the hell? A spinning belt? We're not going to do that. You're disgracing the legacy of wrestling. But Vince McMahon, being the businessman, said, I don't care what y'all say. The kids going to love it. And guess what? The kids loved it. Hell, I had one. And I wound up giving it away. But I had a spinning belt. Having said that, Larry, he's upset. He gets on the airplane, flies back to Duluth. But on his way to Duluth, Larry, talk about what that man did on that airplane.
Well, I just have to say, if that was not a prosthetic, Wild Bill must be mixed. He must have some black in him. You know? Larry, Wild Bill was wilding out.
Larry, like me and Miss K said yesterday, the reason he had on the belt is because he had that thing taped to the belt. And here's a clip I got
out there. He was scaring the children. He was scaring the women, boy. Look at that face. Look at the lady with the blonde hair in the back. She had her head tilted to the side like, what?
Oh, my God.
You know?
Oh, my goodness.
He was wilding all the way out.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't believe
But look out, he came out with the boa.
He did. He did out here looking like Jake the Snake Roberts. That's what he looked like. For my old school wrestling fans, y'all know who Jake the Snake Roberts is. And this dude could be his twin brother. So, Miss K, how did you feel about the opening scene? Was you supercharged when you seen all that meat running through the airplane, getting drunk?
Well,
look at her blushing.
No, stop. My first
cheeks all rosy. That flight attendant's face, though, she's just like,
she's like, what in the
hell? My reaction was, they know daggone well it's not going down like that. There's not happening. So I was like, okay, that's a lie. But then as things went along, we saw there was a reason for them to have him nice and well packaged, I guess.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with you saying well packaged, because you know he ordered that shit from Amazon in a package. Let's just keep that thing real. That's how it got there. It got to him through Amazon in a package. So
I need to get one of those, man. I need to get an extra long one for my OnlyFans page.
Oh, my God. Well, how you going to disguise it? I
don't know. I'll get one that goes all the way to my knee or something, and then I can call myself, like, three legs or something. I don't know.
Hey, you could say you living legend Larry and you got a kickstand. That's what you can say.
There you go.
So he eventually gets off the plane, ladies and gentlemen. He lands and he's in trouble, but he doesn't really give a damn. And he's going back to Duluth and he's hanging out with the lady that he used to be with. Now, I couldn't understand this, and I'm gonna come to you first, Miss K.
Okay.
If, let's just say your husband, for example, used to be in a relationship with a woman who became famous, got in wrestling, and she decided anytime you don't even know what I'm gonna say. You already said no.
She's like, I don't even know. I don't even need to know the specifics of that question. The answer's already no.
You don't even know what I'm gonna say.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. And golly.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so and this lady who is a famous wrestler and is from your hometown, y'all had a budding relationship, y'all managed to be friends, is a little hard on his luck because she's scared as hell WWE is about to cut her. Are you going to let her stay in the house with you and your husband while she's rehabilitating and getting the information about her current job?
Absolutely not. Sorry. Don't even look my way. Don't even have the audacity, because it's not happening.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Understand. So Larry, I'm gonna come.
You don't even have to have a past relationship with my husband to say no. Like, I'm not letting no other female in my house.
It's like hell to the knob.
And she said that with authority. Do you hear me? So, Big Larry, how did you feel about that? And not only did he stay in the lady's house, but he seems like he gets along with the husband to some degree.
See, I mean, he does a little bit, but he's so disrespectful. Like, he's just like when the whole syrup thing, he was like, he poured that whole bottle of syrup on his pancakes. And after the dude made him pancakes, and then he was like, my sister shipped that syrup down from New Hampshire or whatever. And he was like, well, the reason why I need so much syrup is because the pancakes are kind of dry. So I had to, sop them up. I would have been like, MF, you don't have to eat my damn pancake. I would have took his plate. I'd have been like, you can drive yourself down to the IHOP or something.
First of all, Larry, you ain't making no pancakes for nobody who was a past ex of the wife.
Hell no. He wouldn't even been over the house.
He'd be lucky if you give him the dog food from your pet. He'd be lucky if you get that. And so I was sitting here saying the same thing. I was like, bro, You was not about to waste up all. And Larry, it wasn't just syrup. It was maple syrup, the good stuff.
The real kind.
Yeah. This wasn't no sweet and low saccharine syrup. This was maple syrup. And he up there just pouring a whole, and then is talking to the man's kids. Right there, coercing the children. Now that's the part that had me hot. I can't deal with that part. But let me shout out my girl Sweet November. I appreciate that super chat. And Mike Willie coming through with the super chat. You both get a video, and I know this one will make y'all laugh too. Every time I play this, it never gets old.
What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside. Okay, baby, let me tell you something. If a whore ain't paying y'all bills, that's the last thing y'all should be worried about.
Oh my goodness, that dude with his cherry Kool-Aid head.
And you know what, Larry? Probably really is Kool-Aid. Because where I come from, chicks used to dye their hair with Kool-Aid. Yep. That's real talk, Larry. Real talk.
True.
And so
I want to know what happens if you go swimming though. Does it make the pool sweet?
Well, it ain't no sugar in this. Well, I caught that joke. I caught that joke. At the last minute, I caught the joke, and I ain't even gonna touch it. I caught that. I'm not even gonna touch it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the story, our main character, Jack Spade, who is running the business. He's not only running the business, he's a baby face for the business, and he writes the scripts for everybody, and he's not nowhere near the best athlete in the dome. His house catches on fire. He really don't want his wife going to work. And I'll come back to you on this one, Larry. What was going through your mind when the house was on fire? He was having that conversation with his wife about work.
When I saw that, when I heard that alarm and then the thing was on fire, I was just like, damn, because this dude can't catch a break, man.
No.
It's like every time he turns around, he has a new crisis. Literally here, he's putting out a fire, but he seems like every time he turns around, he's trying to put out a fire. And I felt bad for him here because I don't want to see anybody's house burn up. I don't want to see anybody's place of residence burn up, but it's not like he's the nicest guy either. He has all kinds of stuff that goes wrong, and you don't want to see it go wrong, but you're kind of a dick, dude, So
we all hate him for what he did to his little brother. He screwed his little brother from an opportunity to go to the big time. And me having a background in wrestling, knowing a little bit behind the scenes, some of these mom and pops, they don't. What's the best way for me to put this? You know how in America we have the whole thing, you shop at mom and pop versus corporate America.
Right.
Some of the mom and pops, propagandize their employees that going to work for the corporate is bad. And they did a great job of highlighting some of the bull job that goes on in wrestling that they do. And so I'll swing it to you, Miss K. What was going through your mind when this fire broke out? And his financial situation. He still doesn't want her to go to work. And he's working another job trying to help support this business, but he keep buying all this stuff secretly.
Right. He sure does. It's not even a good secret since she's the one that handles the credit cards.
Yeah, and she gets like notifications.
Right. Right. So talk to me about how you feel in that situation and what would you have done if you was in the situation as the wife?
I would just go get the job. I respect that he just doesn't want me to work, but I'll be like, look, you're not going to keep driving me crazy with all these bills. And then on top of that, you're not making the proper choices. So yeah, you know what I mean? Because as a wife, I know how that feels. And it's like, I'm not going to keep on, I got to still step up and be responsible now. If you're going to be irresponsible, then I have to be the one to make sure everything is good now. So I respect how it ended up. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to jump.
No, you can jump. No.
Oh,
both of you guys are free to jump on this because we're only going to be here an hour. So just jump around. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Okay. I was going to say I really was happy because before I think it was in the last episode when she was saying she wanted to get a job, and he's like, I don't want you to. I was like, girl, just go get the job, And so when she did that, I was like, there you go. You should have been. That's all you had to do, But I liked his response as well. He just was like, all right, yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say that maybe this was the inflection point where you had to do it. You just had to do it. Who knows how long it's gonna take for them to get your stuff sorted out with the insurance, because they was having issues with the insurance.
Yeah. And she said it wasn't gonna cover all of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So this was the inflection point where you had to make a decision. She had to do it for the family. And so she just had to make a decision to keep the ship afloat, in all honesty. And you know what? He reacted the way he should have reacted.
Right.
Because I was worried, and I don't know about you, I was worried he was going to fly off the deep end because, like you said, he's had some questionable decision making. So I thought that he might fly off the deep end and say, you challenging my manhood, some bullshit like that, whatever. But he didn't. So, Larry, are you happy with the way it worked out?
I mean, I think it's probably best for them. I think he'll get over it and be okay. I think once his whatever little sting it took, little bruise his pride took, he'll get over it, especially when he gets that paycheck coming in and there's a little bit of pressure off. He might find that everything in his life is running a little bit smoother and easier, because when you don't have all that pressure coming down on you, you just think better about everything. You just think better. You might start running your business better, which may mean that she can, you make more money, which means maybe she can stop working if she wants to, Right. But I think part of her working, obviously they need money, but I think part of her working was more so that, not just more so, but it was in part that her friends came up and all of her friends were working. Like they were, one was a flight attendant, and I forgot what the other one was doing, but they were all doing something. And she was like, I'm just,
here in this town.
But I'll tell you, the thing I really found interesting was when she was walking in that grocery store with her mother-in-law and asked her, did you ever want to get a job? And she said, you mean besides taking care of my husband and my two boys and cooking and cleaning and making their costumes and all that? And she laid out a whole string of stuff that she was doing. She was like, you mean besides all that?
Whole job.
But you know what? I think that just goes to show the difference in where the times are at versus where that mom was at. Because back then, the pinnacle for a lot of women, not all, but most, was I'm just the leader of the household. And nowadays, women lead this nation in higher education, ladies and gentlemen. Women. So women are like, I can handle this baby thing and I can work too. And that's what this chick is trying to do. And you can see this oftentimes happens when you have a couple where one is striving toward all their dreams and the other one is getting absorbed in it.
Yeah.
All his dreams is wrestling, and all her ambitions have gotten absorbed into his ambition without her having an outlet to do some of the things she needs to do to fulfill her own self. Right. So
did she go ahead?
No, go ahead.
Did she say what she went to college for? Because when their friends came up, they all knew each other because they went to college together. But I'm not sure what she went to college for. Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, maybe she did something that could be useful within their business, and she's just not being fully utilized.
Larry and Miss K, I gotta think she might have went for accountant. Look at how good she does the household bills.
Yeah,
she goes through that stuff with a fine tooth comb. Yeah. I'm talking, if you got nappy hair, you got ratty hair, she combing that shit out. You feel me? Like one piece of equipment he got, I was like, when he get that? And she found it. I was like,
right. So it's funny because she does the books at home, and then he has the other woman that does the books for him with the business
at Duffy. Well, see, here's the thing about her though, Larry. Not only does she do that, but that chick that he's got at Duffy Wrestling, she's a promoter too. She dubs as the promoter, and I got her picture. Let me pull her picture. This is when she got, and I cut you on this one. This guy, Lord, but this guy, Wild Bill, man. He plays. This is at the very end. This is at the very end when she tried to deck him, and you know what? just like an evil person does. She went with all that fury and intention to hit him, and look at him. He just stopped it with one hand. Talk about that, Miss K.
But did you see when he looked like he was gonna punch her and she didn't even flinch?
Yeah,
she was
she
like,
didn't flinch.
Right, she tough.
It was like you wouldn't even dare.
Right, she tough. And it might come out that she used to be a wrestler too.
Probably, yep. The only thing with this scene was that their conversation kind of made me wonder what the heck when he mentioned about the kid, when he said, I think I don't remember everything he said because since I don't review it, I don't take notes. So he said something about too bad I wasn't there to get with you to get that abortion or something like that. So it sounds like they probably had an abortion before, but then another thing, it kind of made me feel like, is that kid his? You know what I mean? I was kind of like, what the heck is that about? So
now,
that was
remember Larry,
from that scene.
Remember, we just got finished talking about how he was trying to bond with that girl at the breakfast table. He was, which I got to thinking, why they putting this up in here? And then Miss K, you just brought it home. What you think about it, Larry?
Yeah, I think like I was watching that and I was thinking because it sounded to me like from what he was saying that he and she had an affair at some point because he was like he obviously had no respect for the husband because he was like, what kind of man lets the dude that used to smash his wife back in his house? Like, why is he letting me in the house knowing that I used to be the one that was getting it in? So it sounded to me like he was saying not only were you cheating on your husband with me, he knows it. And it's likely that your kid is my kid, you know, the one that he thinks is his daughter is actually mine, and he's just basically playing the cuck. And I think that I don't know if he heard that or if she went in the house and told him that, but I think that was when the dude was like, "Oh, okay, this is so you have no respect. I'm letting you here out of respect for my wife, but now you just you just took it too far, and that's why he was like, here's all your shit." Be out,
the hotel,
yeah. He was like, they had plenty of syrup down there.
I'm glad that they let the husband get his dignity back because I wouldn't think that the husband was tough enough to do that, but damn it, he did it. He did it, and then they end the show with Wild Bill pissing on top of the motel, getting drunk on top of the motel, pissing and screaming.
I don't know about him.
Wild Bill.
I don't know about him. I feel like he's gonna cause a lot of problems.
So, Miss K, you notice how the manager, Duffy wrestling manager, said that one of the reasons why Jack and Ace's father killed himself was because of Wild Bill.
Oh, really?
Well, no. Well, okay. Well, you saying Willie said that? That's her name, Willie.
Willie.
So she said that because
Willie said it, and one of the boys said it.
Okay.
Did he?
But then Wild Bill gonna turn around and tell her that he killed himself because of what's his name? Ace. Not Ace. What's the older brother's name?
Jack.
He killed himself because of Jack. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm lost too. So I guess it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I guess it's gonna be a mystery. I guess it's gonna be a mystery. They're gonna have to tie it back to exactly why did the father commit suicide, but he committed suicide while Ace was in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and you see how he said that, right? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are they suggesting that Wild Bill left him and went to the big leagues, and that's why his dad committed, and maybe that's why Jack didn't want his brother leaving. Maybe he felt like, well, if he leaves and goes big time and I'm stuck back here, maybe I'm going to fall into the same trap that my dad did.
Yeah, and maybe he was struggling with the bills and stuff too, because that's what Jack? That's what Jack is doing. He's struggling right now to keep everything. And as what you were saying, Larry, you were saying that, he's a jerk or whatever. I don't dislike him. I don't like the stuff that certain things that he does, but I don't dislike him. I definitely did not like what he did to Ace, but he does have a lot going on. Like you said, he can't catch a break. And on top of that, he has that, he's got that mantle on his back now. He has to carry it. And, he's the oldest. At the same time, he always was the one protecting his brother. And then we also have to remember, he has to kind of still maintain everything while he probably didn't even get to really properly mourn his father. It hasn't even been a year yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he had, and then we found out in the episode that he was the one that cleaned him up.
Right.
So
right.
that had to be traumatic as well, you know? So he got a lot of reasons to be a jerk right now. So I'm going to give him a pass.
He does, but he also seems real selfish and disloyal, because when you look at like the way he did his brother, that was just straight up disloyal and selfish. And you look at the way he's done the black dude that's been there, that's all that everybody's been saying, oh, he's done that, he's so good and he should have been made it, but all he's been the other rest, that dude with the fro.
Yeah, with the fro.
You know, and he knows that dude should be on the come up and he's not, you know.
He's the best talent. He is, by the show standards and by what they're saying, Larry, black dude is the best talent they got, and I easily see him getting poached.
I hope so.
See, okay, so you know what? You have a point with that, right? With the black guy, right? With the afro. I know his name. I done forgot his name already. But the one right there with the bald head, he has a different story to tell. His perspective is different. He says that when he was on drugs and he went to rehab, Jack is the one that welcomed him back. So he sees, it's like he sees the heart of Jack. And the other guy is just saying, why don't, he's overlooking me, but then the bald guy is saying just go talk to him. But then when the guy with the fro was going to talk to him, to Jack, it was at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's like, just listen. The other guy has been through some stuff and he feels like Jack has had his back. So yeah, I think as time goes along, we might see that Jack is not so bad. You know, even though he's making some bad decisions right now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad now. I just think, like Larry said, he's acting like an a-hole. I don't think he's done nothing. The only thing that he done mortally wrong was what he did to his brother.
Yes.
It's hard for me to look past that. However, the other things he's doing haven't been something that I can just be like, you know, I can't stand you, go to hell. But what he did to his brother was bad. And I'm gonna come to you, Larry. He did intimate to dude that he's going to give him his chance. He did intimate that to him, but I think old boy's like, look, you've been telling me this for a long time. When am I going to get it? Go ahead, Larry.
So there's two things. He has been intimating to him that he's going to give him a chance, but here we are in the middle of all this, filming a promo for to give the shot at the belt to two other people. It's going to be between Ace and Bobby Pin, and here he is still on the outside, not getting that shot.
Right.
You know? And so, but the other thing that made me feel like this dude is really sort of selfish and disloyal is when he went into that meeting with the pawn shop dude and the auto dealer dude, and he was in there,
the minister
asking for more money.
The minister,
right?
Yeah.
And the dude was telling him, he was like, look, if they try to, like, what's her name tried to say, this is an opportunity to get on the ground floor. He was like, I've been in here from with you guys from day one. He was like, he was almost insulted. Like, what are you talking about? I've been here for day one. And he was being honest. He was like, look, man, I'm down for you guys, but here's the business decision behind it, because he could have just said no, but the dude's breaking it down. He's like, look, Duffy's not growing. The population's actually constricting. There's just not a lot of business to grow out there. He was like, I'm not trying to start a wrestling league. I'm running my businesses. I'm supporting you guys because you're local. It helps me some. But he was like, anything more is it's just a bad business decision. Instead of him saying, okay, I understand, I appreciate you because you have been down from day one, dude gets mad, throws a tantrum, is like, F them and blah, blah, blah. What he should have been asking him is, hey, who else do you know? You're the big wig in town. You have the city of commerce, or the, what do you call it?
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce. You know all those people. Who else could I turn to? He should have been asking questions instead of having a tantrum.
I'm gonna tell you something else, Larry, and I'll swing to you, Miss K. He should have let Crystal Day do all the talking. He should have just went in there and let her do the sweetheart talking. He was a bit emotional, and the guy was basically saying that, you know, he can't advertise his car business because he's local. How's that going to, if because Jack is trying to expand his thing with internet and YouTube and all that, and so the guy was looking at it as a local business, but I think Jack should have just let Crystal Day go in there, his promoter, his businesswoman, let her handle it on his own, and she might could have got the job done, because the minister said he not only has been funding Jack, but he was funding the father too. So jump in there, Miss K.
Yeah. He has anger issues, and I think that's also a part of his grieving stages. I think that's the part that he's tapped into is the anger, because he's just, like you said, he's just flying off the handle. Every reaction is he's mad, you know? And so, I mean, like you said, I think that Willie probably should have taken, she seems like really level-headed. She knows how to talk to people. So I think that it would have been better if she would have said everything she had to say. But the part that was kind of funny to me is when the wife was up in there taking notes after he said I guess he said something quotable. So she was like,
wasn't that great?
She looked at her like, so she's like, oh.
She was getting the next commercial ready. That's what she was doing. She was getting the very next commercial ready, man. I was like, oh my Lord, they got this thing down pat.
She was down for her man.
Yep.
Yeah, she was. But the thing is with her, if you look at her face, she looked like she didn't really agree with what her husband was saying. Right. I don't know if y'all caught that,
I caught that.
But she still it's like whatever he says though.
Yeah. And he kept trying to hush her up, grabbing her hand and saying, okay,
so
sweetie, okay.
Right. So I wonder if that's gonna play, is that gonna go another way?
It could be. She might secretly invest in the business and not tell the husband, something like that.
Yeah.
And like you said, Ace has all this stuff on his shoulders. But another thing that I think is the ultimate anvil above his head is he knows that his business is failing. It's failing. He's struggling to innovate and grow that business bigger than what is in the Duluth, Georgia community.
And on top of that, he has like a troll.
Yes.
He got that guy trolling him all the time, calling him out, making videos, like, just trashing him.
But see, that guy wants to buy him out and he won't sell.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think? What would you do? Do you think you would sell?
It depends. It depends on how much he's talking. Because I've done these deals where I've taken a commercial building, put a tenant in there, put her on a long-term lease, and you package up the real estate plus the long-term lease, and you sell it out for a good markup. So it just depends. Because I'm sure if dude buys it, he's going to want the building for sure. He's going to want the belts, all the equipment, all the digital rights, whatever digital YouTube rights he's got. Plus, he's going to want the wrestlers. He's going to want all that.
Yeah, I think it's sentimental though for Jack. I don't think
it is. It's about his father.
Yeah,
about his father.
It's about legacy. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Screen pink.
It ain't pink to us.
It looks right. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. We see it just fine.
You know what bothered me with Jack and Wild Bill was like, Jack went over there to talk to him because Wild Bill was sort of like hurt in a way when he said, "You didn't even put me in the promo." He was like, "I'm Wild Bill. I'm a nationally known figure. It would have helped you to have me in your promo." It was like, dude was offering without asking for anything in return, and he wasn't even asked to be in it. He was sort of hurt, thinking like, "Man, I'm from Duffy. This is my thing too." And then when Jack went over to the hotel to go see him, that's where I felt like Jack is just sort of like, he's not loyal, and he sort of feel like he's using people on some level because he saw Wild Bill there in like his lowest moment. This dude's up there hunched over like an old man with his back hurting. He's kicking the ice machine trying to get something out of there. Obviously, this dude's not doing well. He's got one flip flop on and everything, and the dude just looked at him and backed away and didn't go check. I'm like, that's the time you're supposed to go check on dude and be like, "Look, man, you're not right. We need to sit down and get this right." You know.
And y'all already covered the part with him walking through the plane naked.
Yes.
We got pictures for you, Moochie. We got pictures for you, Moochie.
Yo.
Oh, he released the hounds.
Unbelievable.
So where exactly all y'all had? Because I still got my keys in my hand.
Moochie, we just kind of all over the board. Yeah. I think a good place I can bring you in is something we haven't discussed yet, which was Ace has been screwing Crystal, right? He ain't committed to her, even though I think she really wants to be committed to him. You can tell because when that deal came up for him to go up, she thought she was
gonna go with him,
right? So now that he's been fulfilling her down below. but he hasn't been fulfilling the most important place you need to fulfill in a woman, which is the emotions and the inside. So guess who done stepped up to the plate? Oh, Bobby Suplex done stepped up to the plate. So Moochella, talk about the way Crystal is helping Bobby Suplex and how at the end they was jumping on the trampoline, kissing and what may have you. Jump on in there, Moochie.
I didn't see them kissing. He just was holding her hand and stuff.
Yeah, but
I didn't see them kissing, but I did see Ace key the car. He his truck.
Had to throw that kiss in there.
Ace really
I was
did.
like, that's a racing strike.
Yo, why he gonna key the car though? What's wrong with this guy?
Hey man, I'm sorry, y'all. That's some stuff traditionally our society says women do. Tradition.
Yeah, that was a punk move.
I agree.
But did you see how he
nobody
got
caught
angry?
in.
You see how he got angry and went and screwed the girl who was working at the bar that was there with him and Wild Bill.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, but you know, if I could say something, he when he did that and he told her, "Look, I'm not your boyfriend."
Yeah, that was messed up what he did.
I don't know how many times I gotta tell you. I didn't mind it. I ain't gonna lie, because I feel like she was being a little too pushy. You know, I feel like sometimes as a chick, you gotta play your position in a certain way, especially if a guy is not just claiming you. And you just being all up on him and you're just following him around. I just kind of feel like she was doing too much, especially knowing like you're not the girl. And like the mom said, so I don't really know how to feel about Crystal yet, because the mom even called out and said she's an opportunist. And she kind of did come off as an opportunist, especially when remember when they had that bar fight? Oh my gosh, I love that scene so much.
Hey,
she did that?
Yeah, she did that.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, and so she did that, and she said, "Did you guys see my whatever the heck that movie is called? What is it called?"
And they act like
it's really called the Frankensteiner, but when WWE bought WCW, they changed the name to a Hurricane Rana.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say Frankensteiner. Did you guys see my Frankensteiner? And they totally ignored her because they were just trying to have that brotherly mode. First of all, you know, Ace was mad at him, and I'm sorry that I'm going back to that episode.
No, go ahead.
He was mad at him, but he was excited. Like, we're together. Like, it's so cool. Us on the same team, this and that. He was excited about it. And here she come. Did you see my Frankensteiner? Like, no one, these brothers are going through something right now. What are you talking about your Frankensteiner right now? It was a dope move, but relax. Do your stuff with some swag. Like, she just like throwing herself in there. You know what I mean? I think she's gonna be a cool chick, but I think she came off a little too strong at first. So that's what.
If you watch that scene again and watch Jack's reaction, Jack actually noticed it.
Yes, he did.
He looked. He was like, "Oh, damn! Like she's for real." You know.
noticed.
And then he went right back to what he was doing.
Right.
You know?
Which is crazy. Because we're in an era where I don't know. Like I said, I do kind of pay attention to WWE, but I don't. But right now, the women in WWE are more popular than the men.
Yeah.
And if Jack really wants to turn it up, he needs to start a glow division using Crystal.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Crystal asking Ace, what the hell are we doing? What are we?
Right.
And I'm fine with him saying we're nothing, you know. But at the same time, it's, you know, you take the information and you do what you want to do with it. He said we're nothing, then move on. That's why she went Bobby Suplex.
Right.
But
And don't be keying cars after that.
Getting back to where he said, "You're not my girlfriend." She was listening to that other lady that was with her husband all those years that was traveling, and she was listening to her, and that's why she did what she did.
But did you see what happened at the end? She ended up not even being the wife.
Right. She was just a asshole. She was a side chick.
Yeah, so she basically was lying to her.
She wasn't lying, but it's like she
made it seem like they were married. That's what she made it seem like
they was married. And he's like, "Oh, Betty's waiting. I told her I won't miss dinner." You know, and it's like, who the heck is Betty?
Yeah, and then she sat there and listened to her, and then she.
Yo, that was crazy.
I think Crystal has to be careful with Bobby Pins, because she's gonna mess around and fall in love with this dude.
With Bobby?
Like, because I think with Ace is like the big sort of brooding bad boy that chicks often like, And then you have Bobby, who's like sort of the simple, nice, respectful dude. She walked into his trailer expecting something terrible, and she was like, "This is not gross." And he's like this considerate dude that's clean and takes care of stuff, and she's up there playing with them. I mean, that's one of the things that people do in relationships that bond people is play. And she's up there playing with them on this trampoline, having a good time. And he's not up there trying to get her in bed. He's not trying to, sexualize the situation. He's just having a good time with her. And she's gonna mess around if she's not careful and fall in love with this dude. And then there's gonna be some real beef, because then it's gonna be, if Bobby starts feeling the same way, there's gonna be some real beef between him and Ace when Ace decides, hey,
I
don't really want her. Yeah, Ace is gonna be like, I don't care. I don't really want her, but he's just gonna be a pissing match because that's how guys are,
Right.
He's gonna be like,
no, he's gonna be worried about losing his job.
Who, Bobby?
Yeah.
I like Bobby.
I like Bobby.
Bobby's not worried about
but she's gonna be worried about he's gonna be worried about losing his job.
But
and plus, on top of that,
he just came there. You see how he calls his mother every night, and
plus on top of that, because she's Ace's, what do they call her?
Valet.
Huh?
Valet.
Her valet.
Basically,
they
the
can't
manager.
be seen in public. Yeah, they can't be seen in public and stuff like that. If her and Bobby were to hit it off, they can't even be seen in public because they gotta keep up that whole thing. I think that's hard though, because Jack has to do the same thing. He has to walk around, continue to be a jerk because of, for the kids. Everybody else knows it's fake, but the kids, he gotta,
Yeah, the first episode they showed how he didn't want to be seen with his brother at church.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You gotta live the gimmick, man. You gotta live the gimmick. But all you have to do is what they used to do back in the day when you rewrite the story, because heels flip the baby faces all the time. Baby faces flip the heels.
Yeah.
And then these different teams wind up hanging with each other. That's how they used to write some of these scripts when some of the old school guys got tired of having to be separated from their families or separated from dudes that they've been traveling on the road with, that type of thing.
I want to see what happens, what they're going to do with the black guy. Because they said he said he was with so many different leagues, and everybody says he's an asset, but no one will give him the belt.
Right, that's weird.
So we just talked about it, Moochie, before you got here, and I said, because he's so talented, somebody from one of the bigger corporations, or maybe the competition that keeps throwing out these bad promos, talking junk about Duffy Wrestling, is going to come for this dude. Because they're going to come for him. They're going to come for him.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be really hard for.
Right. It's only going to be a matter of time, because that dude, he's talented.
Yeah. And whatchamacallit, like you said, he has to be innovative. You know what I'm saying? He got to go with the times, like you were saying. He can't be stuck in whatever he's doing. That's just stupid. And if I could say something real quick with Larry, what you were saying about Wild Bill is, I think there's something, like we were talking about earlier, there's something going on with Wild Bill. There's a reason why, thank you, Ron, the guy with the Afro's name is Rooster. So there's something going on with Wild Bill, why Jack doesn't want anything to do with him. And he probably turned his back. He probably got all this money and didn't even come back and help them out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There is something that he did that I feel
that's
like
exactly what happened.
it's warranted. Whatever anger that Jack has for him and resentment, I think it's warranted. We just don't know the full story yet.
It could also be.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Moochie. You just got here.
I want to say I think he blamed his father's S on him, because the way he went up to the big leagues, I'd say.
That's all I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. And so, Jack is holding that against him. But I think it's about to come to the head, because Wild Bill's fired. I love that they had that sister sitting at the head of the table with this Confederate looking redneck getting mad. The sister was sitting at the head of the table running the shots. And at the end of the day, Duffy Promotion might as well use Wild Bill. And I think they're going to back Jack into a wall in a corner that he's going to have to use him. He's going to have to use him.
Definitely. He is.
I just want Ace to stay away
that
from
other guy wants to buy him out.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if Wild Bill sort of works his way back into a relationship with his old organization, because there's some talent there at Duffy, and I wouldn't be surprised if Wild Bill is basically like, look, maybe you can't use Ace, but here's Rooster. This dude's for real.
Right.
And maybe we can come in and work together. Maybe he decides he wants to get with Rooster because, Wild Bill's old. He's getting old and crickety and his knees are bad. He's talking about he's had hip replacements and whatnot. So maybe getting in with somebody younger like Rooster, he can have a nice team to go back up to the big leagues. So
now, do you guys think, well, let me pull this up first. They cut a promo, which was one of the best parts of this whole episode.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
They cut like one of them old Stone Cold Steve Austin promos WWE used to do when Stone Cold would pop up to your house, beat your ass. He was beating up people. He threw somebody in the river one time. And they had Ace. So I'm gonna come to you first, Larry. Now, I had a promo I did a couple years ago on YouTube, and I started to dig it up and bring it tonight. But I'll bring it next week. I'll bring it next week. And but Larry, how did you like this promo, man? They started in the store. Let me go from they started like this. Ace comes in there kicking ass, and they wind up ending outside in the bed of the truck. It got so heated that they had to hold back Jack, who was about to jump in it.
Oh man, that was great when they threw him in the back of the truck, when they jumped in the back, and then they went through the car wash.
Oh man,
that was good.
Man, the whole thing was a lot. But I love the reaction of Ace at the end because it was the first time we've actually seen him happy. Mm-hmm. It was like normally he's always got some brooding sense about him. It was the first time we really saw him happy, and he was like, "That was great,"
Yeah, man.
Because his brother finally let him have, that was his idea. That whole thing.
Yeah.
He's his brother. Fine. I was like, thank you. Because when he was like, no, I don't need you to help. And when he finally told him, okay, you want to help here. And then they got together on the couch and then he was like, yeah, and this and that. So I was really happy when he did that because I'm like, could you please just give the boy a chance? You done messed him up from going where he wanted to go. Let him give his ideas.
Yeah.
Right.
And it really worked out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about it, Moochie?
Because he was like, you don't have to control everything.
Yes, exactly.
I hope he gives him a little bit more leeway with it, because and he seemed like he enjoyed it so much. But now he seems like he's gonna enjoy being a heel because he was really mad that they made him that. He wanted to be the face still.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
but he was a heel outside.
Right.
I know, right?
Right. Now, speaking of which. When Jack had his conversation with Rooster, let me pull up Rooster picture again. They didn't say it, and I wonder if they're going to address it. But one of the issues with having black dudes wearing the strap as a face is that the fans just don't react to you. They just don't. That was an issue I had when I was doing the young wrestling thing. So I told y'all what I did. I just told them I'm just going to talk shit to the crowd. I'm going to call them country redneck bum. They're going to be mad at me. They're going to want to see somebody kick my butt.
Right.
And that part worked. So do y'all think it could be a possibility that Jack is a little timid to let Rooster take the mantle because he's a brother? It's a legitimate thing in wrestling.
That's how it is. That's how it was with WWE.
Right. What you think, Larry?
It could be, and that's one of the reasons why I was thinking like maybe he might be Wild Bill's way in back to the big leagues because we have a sister at the head of the table back up in I look like they're in New York or someplace. She, when Wild Bill tells her, "Hey, I have somebody, just hear me out," and it's like, we need to, you guys needed to diversify. She might be receptive to that, And dude is experienced. He's been around for a long time, and he's hungry. So
if he does that, will he reach back? You know what I'm saying? Like, will he help Duffy?
That's the thing. He might reach back so much it might actually hurt Jack because he might start pulling everybody up. Because if he reaches back and he grabs what's the other black dude's name with the bald head, the football player?
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't know his name. Ron about.
I mean, like help, like if there's financial situations, will he help? Not to take people out, but like
no, he might not, but he doesn't need. But honestly, like the other black dude's name is Apocalypse. Now, if Apocalypse had gotten pulled up, he might feel the obligation to come back and help. I don't think Rooster feels that obligation because Rooster's like, you guys been screwing me over for years. I've been up here riding and dying for you guys, putting in work, and you guys have given me really no love. So he might be like, once I'm gone, I'm out. I'm out this piece. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, if anybody, it would be Apocalypse that would help. I agree.
Right. Yeah. I just think that right now, Jack is the head of everything. He needs to divvy out some of those responsibilities. He's got a great promoter. That Willie, she's a great promoter. And now you've got a guy who has a big time name. He's been released of his contract. You throw him in there. You ain't even got to let him wrestle, Larry. You do him the way they do the old school. You let them come to the ring, slap around the rookies a little bit, get on the mic, because he definitely can talk on the mic.
Yes.
And you draw the crowd, and you spread it on YouTube. I mean, you let Wild Bill do wild things and spread it on YouTube, and then you let him take the fall from, maybe Rooster, maybe Apocalypse to bump them up. That's what you do with the old dudes like that. But do y'all really think Jack can get over whatever this barrier is so that he can see the vision of how he can use Wild Bill?
I feel like he gonna have no choice because that other guy's coming for him. He's gonna have to.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna use Wild Bill, but I don't like. I saw the trailer for the next episode, and I feel like the way he's gonna use him, like we already know he went to the hotel. He saw Wild Bill at a real low point. He knows how desperate Wild Bill really is, and now he's gonna use that against Wild Bill to basically be like, yeah, you can come to work for me, but you're not coming to work like you're the big dude from the that's coming down from some large organization. You're gonna come and basically be my bitch, and. And I think that's the way he's gonna treat him.
Wow.
Well, if he say it to him like that, I don't think it's gonna go well.
I don't know if he's gonna say it to him just like that, but I think that's basically how he's gonna treat him and expect that Wild Bill's just gonna have to accept it because Wild Bill doesn't have any other place to go.
Yeah, like you're not in control. But did you see how when he came and Willie was like, "Oh, we're gonna do the pep talk or something," and then Wild Bill was already in there giving the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember that?
I saw that.
Like he's there. He's gonna be stepping on toes, and so it's gonna take. If like Moochie said, if Jack's back is not against the wall and he really needs him, it's gonna take some time before he lets up and kind of gets past whatever anger he has, because that guy is stepping on toes still, and also he turning his brother on to Oxy or whatever them drugs are, giving him them pills. I'm like, please, Ace, stay away from him.
Yeah.
So
Ace was good though. The last time he was offered those drugs, he turned him down.
He turned him down. Mm-hmm. And this is the last thing I want to cover before we get out of here. Ace met up with Wild Bill at the bar, and they was having a chit chat about being a heel and all the recognition and all that type of stuff. And in general, Wild Bill was teaching Ace how to be, I guess the best way to put it, a good heel. A bad, good heel. He started a fight with a dude that he really had no intentions of beating up. He really didn't. And where's my clip? Because I got a clip of that shit. I was like, it's wild. This dude right here.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he did him.
No, I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was wrong.
That's how you become a heel. That's how
thing, though.
That's how you become a heel. That's part of being a heel. Bully people when you can, cheap shot people when you can, talk junk to people, and then run. That's being a heel. And he was basically showing them how to be a heel. So do you guys think that creatively Wild Bill can, because after this, Ace was ready to be a heel.
Yeah.
He was ready.
He did. He said at the gas station, he said it's fun being the bad guy.
Right. He said it. He said it. So
I think because he had some creative input into it too.
Right.
I agree.
And it was like acting.
Yeah. But I mean, all wrestling is acting, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But every now and then you take a bump. I'm not even going front. Every now and then you land wrong outside the ring, stuff like that. But when you're young and spry, you don't feel it. But when you get old like Wild Bill, man, you taking that Oxy with beer. That's what you're doing, and that's him. And so I'll go ask the panel in a round table right now. I'll start with you, Larry. Overall, how you feeling about the show, and where would you rank it on a scale of 1 to 10 based on the first 4 episodes?
I like the show. I think it keeps getting better. Like the first episode, I was like, this is pretty good. And the second episode, I felt like it was okay. And I felt like after that, it just kept getting better and better. I really liked this episode. There were some things in this episode I thought that were just really good character development. I thought it was like there were some things that made me sort of look at like Ace a little different. Like partly when he had that scene with his mom and he was talking about his dad's suicide to some respects, but he was really talking about her just being happy and telling her, you lost a smile on your face long before he ever did this, and you need to figure out a way to be happy. He was so introspective and so just like present there, and he just had it felt like in that moment like he had just he was so deeply in tune with his emotions and other people's emotions, but then at the same time he was so completely dim-witted when it came to Crystal.
Right.
Like at the gas station, he was trying to reach out to her and say, I'm sorry for being a jerk to you. And he just couldn't figure out a way to say it.
Right.
Nope.
It was just interesting to see that really just strange contradiction within him. So.
All right. Ms. K, give us your synopsis of the show to this point.
To this point, I am enjoying the show. I look forward to it. I would probably say that I'll give it an 8. I know you said, Larry, that you didn't enjoy the second episode was okay, but that fight, when they did that whole fight scene in the bar, I really liked that scene, especially because the guy was like trying to challenge them like they can't fight. And when I saw when they could really fight, I was like, yeah. And they were together. So I enjoyed that. But Rooster was pissed off though, like, this is where I work, But then he was like, when they got outside, remember when they went outside and the guy was talking trash? He was like, this outside. Y'all could go get him.
And then Crystal took him down.
Yes.
Yep. So she hit him with the Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankensteiner. So I do enjoy the show. I like how, in every episode we're getting more and more. Instead of just how there's some episodes where it's like, okay, what's this? What's that? I kind of feel like we're still in that area with, I don't mean to bring power into it, but I kind of feel like we're still there with power. But in this one, we're getting piece by piece and we're starting to understand a little more what's going on. And as what you were saying, Larry, with the mom, how he was talking to his mother about that whole suicide situation. I also liked the conversation that he had with his nephew. I like their relationship, and I like how he gave him the blanket, and then he was even mature enough to say that right now his mother's grief is coming through as anger. Because if you think about it, everything that they talked about in the episode, how she gave her life, she sewed stuff up, she made costumes, everything she dedicated to her husband and this wrestling career and the kids. And then this man just left her like that. She gotta be pissed off, of course, Yeah,
she's angry.
Yeah.
That's one of the phases of grieving.
Right. And I just like the show. So I hope that the brothers could definitely stick together. That's my main thing.
I'm hoping they become a tag team.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I just want to see that.
It's coming. But
especially if they're both heels now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Maybe maybe Bobby Sands and Rooster will get together.
Hey.
Oh, I can see that happening.
I can see it, man. I can see that.
I can see the Wild Man being a manager or something crazy like that.
Who'd you say, Rooster and who?
Rooster and Bobby Suplex.
Oh, Bobby Suplex.
Moochella, how do you feel about the first couple of episodes and how would you rank it?
I like this so far. The second episode was basically we had to see how the mother's attitude. Because that episode showed a lot of her attitude in the beginning when he was mad about losing the opportunity to go to the big leagues.
Right.
And she's just a bit angry person, that lady.
The mom.
Yes. She's just like a real sourpuss. She's mean to the daughter-in-law.
But you got to think.
Nobody's good enough for her kids. She's like one of those type of moms.
Think about everything. Think about the narration they put into this woman, where she had a conversation with Jack's wife this last episode about. I'm thinking Larry brought it up. They walking down the grocery aisle, and she's saying, "Did you ever want to work?" And the mom was like, "My job was being with these kids and basically taking care of the house." So her life is wrapped up in that, and whatever dreams and ambitions that mom probably had, she never fleshed them out. And so now that the kids is grown, there's no more husband. All her dreams and stuff done going out the window. She ain't thinking about trying to go do something to recapture whatever dreams she had when she was young. So she's got that anger.
And her husband stole that time from her where they were supposed to be able to be together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all the work we put in, you know what I'm saying? He just dipped on her like that. That was
But with this, with her, I feel like when she said, I don't even drive anymore because she said every time they went somewhere, he always drove. And she knew how to drive, but she said now that he's gone, she doesn't even feel comfortable driving behind the wheel.
Right.
She's
going. That really speaks to sort of how Jack is a lot like his dad, because it sounds like his dad was a control freak, and we know that Jack is a control freak. Just won't let anybody touch the story. He's always, it sounds like he's starting to loosen up a little bit, with letting Ace do the promo and all that. But he's just been, so far from what we've seen, he's been a straight control freak. And it sounded like his dad, I guess, was the same way, just to even a more serious extent. Because it sounds to me like Jack's control freakness, probably a little bit his personal life, but it's mostly in the business side of things. Because it sounds to me like his wife kind of like he almost seems a little bit afraid of his wife.
Who, Jack?
Yeah, but he seems like he's one of those type of husbands that I'm in charge. I'm the breadwinner, so this is my domain, and the house is yours.
Yeah, but he's been kind of neglecting her. You see, and the family, like his duties and everything. They got the freaking squirrels running around up in the daggone attic, and then the grass wasn't cut. How you sell lawnmowers and your grass ain't cut? Like,
she went out there and cut the grass,
and then exactly, and that's why I said, "Oh, she got my respect," because I'm telling you right now, I said that's me. Like I how I've done so many things like that. Painted, freaking patched up holes in the wall, doing all that kind of stuff, and it's like, and then she went up there and shot that daggone thing.
Squirrel.
Squirrel, yes. Yo, I said, wow, that's definitely me. I done had to kill, now that I'm out here in South Jersey, I done had to kill snakes and everything.
Oh my God.
What kind of snake you killing?
So I don't know what it was, but it was too big. So I said,
wow,
not around mine.
The thing that got me when she went on the lawnmower, she didn't just go to the lawnmower. She went and got to open up the cooler, put the beers out there.
Man.
The whole thing.
Yeah, because she like
how he was like, you can have a beer when you mow your lawn.
Exactly. And that's exactly what she did. And her son can't even kick around and play soccer in the daggone yard with all of that grass. So she's like, let me go out here.
Not to mention, Jack has been kicking vacations down the road, stuff like that. And someone said, Ron said in the comments, and I'm gonna add to what he said, Jack could really have a white version of Black Panther. He's surrounded by 3 great women who could add to his business. Crystal is innovative. Willie Day is a great business manager, great promoter, and his wife, if he would just listen to her spinning insights, he might could turn that business around in 6 months. He's got the people, he's got the women around him to do it. But
go
ahead, Larry.
I was curious. Like, it's obvious that Willie has money because we see the way everybody else is living. She's kind of balling, She's got that big, beautiful house with the pond out front and all that. But I also noticed that she was wearing a shirt that said Willie's Motorcycles, and I was like, does she own like a motorcycle shop?
Either her man, somebody got money. Her husband probably got money.
Yeah, her husband got money. But that was crazy that he let him stay there Wild Man.
We were talking about that, Moochie.
I know, I missed everything, y'all.
We were talking about the husband let him stay there serving them pancakes and shit like he was baby boy, and dude was just being disrespectful with the real deal maple syrup, Canadian maple syrup.
That syrup.
Wow.
I was glad when he packed his stuff out and kicked them out, though.
That's what we said.
Close the garage on them.
Closed it up, man. Well,
Yeah.
wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege to bring you guys a show outside of the Power universe, man. If you haven't been seeing Stars' Heels, give it a shot. Whether you like wrestling or not, the story is still good enough to stand alone. It just centers around the ambiance of wrestling. So we'll meet you guys back here on Friday. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe, get yourself that life game. I don't know exactly what we're going to do Friday. We are going to have a couple of special guests. So one thing we're going to do for sure is a preview to Power. But we might have some other surprises in store for you, especially with finances. So go check out Life Game Financial Channel. Till that next video, we'll see you.
See ya.
Peace.